All right, so what I wanted to do is something called a Proust Questionnaire. I don't know if you know what that is. There's the writer Marcel Proust.
Yes.
It is used commonly on Behind the Actors Studio.
How long are my answers supposed to
They are as long as you'd like, but I know you are verbose. Is that the polite word?
Yes.
Yes.
Loquacious.
Loquacious, yes.
Might have to rein me in.
Yeah, so I would say shorter than usual, but I think you will find the questions lead to, because they're not about you, your book, or music necessarily.
Okay.
So, let us begin. All right. What is your favorite word?
Honey.
What is your favorite virtue?
Honesty.
What are your favorite qualities in a man?
Integrity. Compassion, humor, and intelligence.
And what are your favorite qualities in a woman?
Integrity, compassion, humor, intelligence, and hips.
Excellent. What is your...
Honey is my favorite word because I say it the most because of my wife.
I read that a lot in your book, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Honeys. What is your chief characteristic?
Obnoxiousness.
What do you appreciate the most in your friends?
Patience. Tolerance. They're tolerant, very tolerant of me. Patient. You know.
What is your idea of happiness?
Happiness and fulfillment are two very different things. Happiness for me healthy family and friends, and quality time with them, and a good meal, and surfing, and laughing with my wife. That's happiness. It's fulfillment is slightly different for me. I don't have to be happy all the time. I think it's a mistake that you have the right to be happy. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have the right to be happy. The world is not going to give you happiness. You have to look for it where you can find it. But you have the right to strive for fulfillment, I think, in your life. And if you don't, then, you aren't going to be happy.
So we will add the question, what is fulfillment?
For me, fulfillment is, I tend to put it, is honest work, honest artistic work. Not necessarily the fruits of the labor, but the work itself, Because you don't really have the right to the fruits of your labor in the end, because you're going to be dead and the fruits of your labor are going to be gone. But until the moment you die, you can engage in the work, and no one can take that from you.
What is your idea of misery?
Ooh, there's many things that are miserable. I've been to some miserable places. Pancrat's prison that's misery. That's pretty bad. But also, another idea of misery to me would just would be having to live my life by some sort of ludicrous norm that society dictates. That'd be misery. Like trying to like put on a suit and tie. Not that there's anything wrong with this. People do this, but for me, I couldn't put on a suit and a tie and go work in the office like crunching numbers. Math is misery. You know that math is misery. I suck at it. I couldn't do that. You know.
Cheers to that. On a more up note, who are your favorite fiction authors?
Fiction. You know, my favorite fiction author of all time. Well, I'll go with my favorite living fiction author. Is Pat Conroy from South Carolina, Beaufort, South Carolina. And I just sent him a copy of my book with a funny letter. I hope he reads it. You know, I never met him, but he's a hell of a storyteller.
Great. And who are your favorite heroes in fiction?
Who are my favorite heroes in fiction? Oh, I was one of the first books I read when I was young. I was in the 4th grade. I read James Clavell's Shogun. It's kind of a stout book for a 4th grader, and I didn't understand much of it. But there's this British sea captain who gets stranded in Japan and kind of becomes one of the samurai. His name was Blackthorn. And he was like kind of, from the beginning, it's like, oh, I want to travel and go to Japan and have adventures and all this stuff. So I did. And so he's kind of a role model that worked out for me. I didn't want to become Japanese or anything. Unlike, maybe like the song, you know, like that one. I've done that a few. I've done that a few times. I didn't really think so, but no. Like, you know, and of course anybody from Lord of the Rings, anyone from William S. Gibson's books, you know, like the chick from Virtual Light who's a bike courier who lives in the bridge over San Francisco. I always wanted to be her.
Thank you for choosing a female.
I am woman. Hear me roar. You know.
Excellent. What characters in history do you most dislike?
Do I most dislike?
Let's just say real characters in history do you most dislike?
Real characters in history do I dislike? I mean, that's kind of a tough one. I mean, it would be easy to say Hitler. It'd be very easy to say Hitler, but I travel to Europe so much, and I've seen these places that I'm pretty fascinated by the Third Reich and what they were able to do and their whole aesthetic and why that happened at that certain time. So, I mean, the dude was a madman. He was a monster, but I'm glad he's dead, you know what I mean? But he is a magnificent character. The study is so weird, you know, from a writing viewpoint. He's this megalomaniacal dude, you know. Who do I just dislike from history, you know? And he's still with us. But George W. Bush, I can't stand that dude. He should be tried as a war criminal. I can't believe they haven't hung him yet. I really dislike that guy.
I'm glad we got to the bottom of that.
Yeah. I hate him worse than I hate Hitler because Hitler's not real anymore. He's a historical figure that we're feeling the repercussions of from today. Georgie Porgy, he's still with us, you know. It's sad.
Well spoken.
And the God hates fags dudes. I don't like them either.
Is that Westboro back?
Yeah, fuck those guys, man.
Exactly. All right, we'll get slightly more cheerful, but first, What is your present state of mind?
Exhausted, but also kind of like happily overwhelmed. Today is the day my first book ever has been released, and it is a momentous day for me. You know, it's like I haven't felt this way since we put out our first 7-inch. Not our first album, but the first time I ever felt a recorded physical piece of music, you know? And I got to hold that for the first time. And today, you know, my first book is out, and I'm doing a lot of press with it. I'm very happy, very happy. Except for when we talk about George W. Bush.
We're through with that. Will you mark this occasion with a tattoo or in any other permanent way?
Oh, God. With a tattoo or any other permanent way. You know, I might get a tattoo that deals with writing eventually, you know? But not this, I don't know, I hadn't even thought about that. That's a good question. Maybe if I fall off the wagon and get wasted, and then fall down and scar my face up, that would be a permanent mark, but that's not going to happen because I don't feel like drinking, so probably not a permanent one, but that's a great question. You're giving me ideas now.
I'm excited. I put out a book as well, and we decided if it was going to be a bestseller, then we would get a tattoo, but I do not have a tattoo, so you know where that went.
Damn it. Well, you know, I'm not, well, do you not have any tattoos?
I have a few.
Okay, well, you should still be proud. You wrote a book. That's another thing. Not everybody can write a book. You know, they can't. Not everybody can do it. Everybody says, oh, one day I'll write a book. You know? No, you probably won't. I'm sorry, it sucks. It takes a lot of effort. It's like saying, oh, yeah, you know, everybody thinks they can write a book. Maybe one day I'll be a brain surgeon. You know, maybe one day I'll just start dicking around with people's brains, you know. No, you won't.
I love that part of your book, by the way, the brain surgeon.
Oh, thank you.
All right, let's just end with 3 questions that are a little more fun.
These have been fun.
A little lighter.
Okay.
What song or band is your guilty pleasure?
I have no guilty pleasures. I don't believe in them. If I like music, I will listen to it. You know, people are like, oh, what song wouldn't, you know, you don't want me to see on your iPod? I'm like, look at anything you want. I have no guilty pleasures musically.
What song do you wish you'd written?
What song do I wish I had written? Oh, man. Oh, God. Probably anything off of The Age of Quarrel by the Cro-Mags. But my friend John Joseph wrote some of that, you know, so it's almost, I get close to greatness, so that makes me happy.
A degree or two of separation.
Yeah.
If that. All right, and finally, what is your favorite motto?
My favorite motto? I'm sure everybody says carpe diem. Carpe diem. So it's a great one. But I like, you know, I'm more into like, don't be a dick. That's the answer to life. Just don't be a dick. It's simple.
That sounded very much like the dude.
Yeah. The dude he's perfect.
He abides.
He abides. I do not abide as well, but I do abide.
Perfect. We are finished with our questionnaire. Thank you for being so thoughtful.
Thank you.
The official Nights with Alice Cooper app is available now on iTunes and Google Play. Made especially for all of you minions.
Hey, what's up? This is Randy Blythe from Lamb of God, and you are watching Behind the Interview on Nights with Alice Cooper. Thanks so much for checking it out. If you want to check out my book, Dark Days of Memoir, or learn about the new Lamb of God record, Sturm und Drang, you can click the link below and there'll be information about that. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Woo!
I keep ending up on this abandoned road. My hands are feeling shaky, I'm slowly spinning out of control. And the view behind the mirror is cracked and I'm falling apart.